and I'm one of the owners here at the Garden of RENO.
I'm also one of the owners here at the Garden of RENO, and I do it all from bucket scrubbing to making flowers to coffee to deliveries. I was born and raised in the floral industry because it was what my mom did when I was, born. So first job was in a flower shop. I got out of it for a little bit, came back into it. So for me, it's probably been about 17 years. Yep. And you 30.
We are family owned and operated, so this is our income for not only, my husband and I, but my daughter, my niece, and all of us.
But it impacted us in the fact that people wanted their deposits back.
Oh, right.
We were coordinators, so a lot of people we work with were a year in advance, and they wanted refunds on all that stuff, and we have contracts in place, and it didn't go through that way. We were always willing to adjust the dates and work with everybody, but it was really unfortunate and tragic on both sides because it kind of hurt our heart as well as the people who thought we were swindling them out of money, and that wasn't what we were doing. So nobody was placing orders, obviously. Everybody's funds were tight and stuff like that, but when everything started opening back up again, everything was jacked because the farms had to get rid of all of their product because they weren't purchasing anything.
We lost a lot of California farms.
We lost a lot of farms because farms weren't getting orders in, so farms had waste and waste and waste, and they hit rock bottom.
They ended up having to sell.
Farms sold out, and then which in turn has just jacked up the price of flowers. Still now, we're no huge establishment like a lot of people that have their own farms or major stores or things like that. So it's not like we get all these things at pennies on the dollar. We don't. It's still expensive for us being just a local florist in this town, and same with all the other local florists in this town. People are like, it shouldn't be that much for flowers, and all we're doing is our normal markup, even a little less, so that people don't feel that it's absurd.
The pandemic definitely affected us.
Yeah.
It hit us, but it's also brought community together, which has been phenomenal.
So I've been doing this since I was about 4 years old. Going to California, buying flowers, working in the shop. I used to sweep floors. By the time I was 14, I worked full time. And so I pretty much have done this my whole life, and I'm 60 now. When COVID first happened, it was kind of hard because people didn't know what to expect. We didn't know if everyone was going to be closed, if people were going to buy flowers. So at first what we did was we cut way back. Once that we figured out that people were going to send flowers because they couldn't travel to go see their parents, we started buying more flowers, and it eventually got to where we were buying every flower we could get our hands on. A wholesaler like we were, where you paid your bills really well, you were large, you probably got more flowers than a wholesaler that was small and wasn't paying his bills as quick. So a company like Bill Doran, who also is partnered with a lot of growers, we did better because we had more availability to us, whereas maybe a small competitor didn't have that chain set up that they could get the flowers like we could. It costs you more to grow a flower in California than it does in Ecuador. So it's actually cheaper to buy a flower out of Ecuador and ship it from Ecuador to the United States than it is to buy it out of California. So for the last 25 years, we have what we call dedicated trucks that come to us every week. So for instance, I get one truck out of Florida a week and 2 out of California. Those trucks, because they were dedicated to us, in other words, we had been using them for 20 years, did not stop. So we had our trucking service, and our trucks were moving. I would say COVID was good for the flower business.